What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode here on the Broad Street Boys. That's right, we're back with another episode. Now, you might notice what's going on. There's only two of you. Well, Caleb decided to take a trip to Italia, back to Italy. So he's not currently here, but we're gonna try to do our best to hold it down and get this episode in for you guys. We're doing Phillies and Eagles today.
Yes, sir.
It's not gonna be a quick episode. We were trying to do a quick episode. That's not happening.
It's not.
So anyway, you want to start off with some Phillies?
Sure. So Phillies, after our last podcast where they were not great,
No,
but
not at all.
actually ever since that podcast, since that Diamondbacks
Series.
walk off, like with Trey Turner hitting the game tying home run, they have won 13 of their last 15 games. They just swept the A's. Being led by Kyle Schwarber and Nick Castellanos. Kyle Schwarber, in his last 7 games, hitting .310 with 9 hits, 3 home runs, and with only 10 strikeouts, which is the biggest thing for me.
For sure.
That guy strikes out more than anyone I've seen.
Yeah.
And then Castellanos doing his thing, doubles every day, high average. He's hitting I feel like his average is always hovering around 315. Even Trey Turner hasn't been doing as bad as he was. He seems to be staying through the ball. And just starting to turn it around. Jake and I were talking about this earlier. Bryce Harper, has been not hitting as many home runs and RBIs, but at the same time, he's still hitting for a high on base percentage. This was a high average, hovering around 300, which is perfect for him. And then Bryson Stott is our emerging star, hitting around 300, but with a ton of RBIs and clutch hits. And we've even got an emerging star in Cody Clemens, who's now.
Yes,
you called this.
Yes, I totally liked Cody Clemens from the start. I really did. Evan and Caleb talked so much smack on him from the beginning. I said, "Listen, hold on, just give him a couple games, give him some time, let him warm up a little bit." He came in and his third game, he had the home run or the walk off or whatever. It's something stupid, you know what I mean? Like, really good for him, and they were like, "Oh, I don't know yet." No. I think it was just an unfamiliarity with the player and his capabilities, because he was someone who, after finding out he was Roger Clemens' kid, I was like, "Oh, cool." Yeah, there was no star factor. There was no we were watching him come up, him progress at all. Yeah. I was like, "Who's this new guy?" And I guess I kind of had more of a biased opinion because I would always watch the highlights of the games if I missed the game. Right. So I'm not watching the game, watching him strike out 3 times and then hit one bomb. I just see his one bomb and I'm like, "Oh, this kid's great." So that could have also played into the fact that I liked him from the get-go. Mm-hmm. And then you guys, I guess, were just a little bit more realistic.
No, but I like him. We all came to the same conclusion that he is, ever since the Rhys Hoskins going down, he's now like our permanent first baseman almost. I mean, we'll give him a day off, every once in a while. Put Bohm on first and Sosa on third. But listen, if he keeps being consistent and hitting around 250 and still just getting clutch hits like he has been, why take him out of the lineup? And he's a solid glove over at first base. Yeah. I feel like there's no reason to even take him out at this point. No. Because he's just a stud. And and Rob Thompson's starting to learn this. Why change the top 5 guys? Yeah. Including Cody Clemens being in first base. Why change all of them if you've won 13 of your last 15?
I think that's something they were trying to experiment with at the beginning of the season. That's why they've had such a slow start. Yes. Because they were trying to figure out what worked. Yes. And I feel like now that we have Clemens doing really well, you have Harper back, you have, it's June, Kyle Schwarber's doing good.
It's June.
Bohm, Stott, Turner, all these guys are starting to pick it up. I feel like now that gives us a really good.
I agree. And even our bullpen pitching has been great. Yeah. And Christian Pache is back as well. And I love that. That's the Kevin Long prodigy himself. He's hit low 200s his entire career. And then all of a sudden with us, he's hitting 333 with a bomb and a few RBIs. That's just the Kevin Long prodigy. And the fact that he has come back just for a little bit of insurance, just to give Marsh a day's rest and hit against lefties, I think that's going to help and give us a lot of depth.
I think he was a surprise player. So in the beginning of the season, who we were like,
him and Clemens.
Pache, are you serious?
Him and Clemens are my 2 emerging okay people.
How's they're doing Harrison doing?
I don't like Josh Harrison. I don't get his role other than the utility guy to just strike out a lot.
But I think if someone goes out with an injury, he's the guy to kind of throw in there. But I don't think he should be a permanent.
And as a guy to get a hit, he's not bad, especially recently. I know a few games ago when he did play, he did have 3 hits.
He has a little flare swing. Where
he does. It's a disgusting looking swing and a disgusting looking stance.
But it works occasionally.
But when it works, it freaking works.
Yeah.
And now we have a few talking points here. So first one for us both: can the Phillies become a playoff team? They're currently.
Did you post the thing and it was like 36-34 and 36-34?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're a playoff team.
I think they're too.
I think we're all on that roll now, and we kind of have to just kind of roll through the teams. Other teams are starting to lose a little steam. The Rays are starting to lose. I know the different division, but teams are starting to lose a little.
People are starting to freak out about the Marlins and how they're currently 9 games above 500, and the Braves are the Braves, who are also crazy right now.
Yeah.
But I feel like if we just do the same thing as last year, attack the freaking wild card spot. I mean, the Giants are on a very similar route to us. They've currently won 6 or 7 straight.
Yeah.
But it's the Giants. They have Gabe Kapler. We know what Gabe Kapler does. He jokes. I think if we just do something similar to this year, kind of come out through the wild card, I think it'll be more than fine.
Yeah.
I think for us, improvements, I think we need a 5th pitcher.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because that Arizona game, or was it the A's game? Either one. I'm blanking who we were playing, but it was a bullpen game of every single awful bullpen pitcher that we have.
Yep.
It was like Vasquez, who I don't hate, Marte, who now is okay, but at the time was not good.
Yeah.
Christopher Sanchez started that game. It was a rough one, and if we just had a 5th starter, it'd be perfect.
I feel like before we kind of nailed down a first baseman, we were really looking at, who else can we bring on, who else can we trade? Obviously Matt Chapman.
Yeah.
It'd still be cool to get him, but if Clemens is doing really well, then I think we should pursue a pitching option.
Yes. No, I agree. And if we're gonna pursue a first baseman, I know the Cardinals are like one of the worst teams record-wise in the whole National League.
Who we thought were going to be really good.
We thought were going to be amazing. I thought they were going to be amazing with Contreras.
Our rankings are going to be so off. They're going to do All-Star break.
But Paul Goldschmidt could be on the block.
Really?
Yes, and we could trade some shit for him.
It's just contract out?
No,
we could just snag him.
It would just take a lot. But Kayla's made this point in the past, and to us personally. We have a lot of people in our farm system, believe it or not, but that play the middle infield. Like that De La Cruz guy, next name Carlos De La Cruz, he plays shortstop.
Yeah.
We're not going to need a shortstop for 11 years with Trey Turner and then Bryson Stott.
Switch it up occasionally.
No, I know, but I'm just saying we don't need one.
Yeah, exactly.
And then McGarry is a highly prospect for pitching, and Mick Abel is a high prospect for pitching. We could trade these guys for a stud Paul Goldschmidt who wants to win now, and that would kind of prove to everybody that we're in win now mode.
Yeah.
We're here to freaking win. I mean, and as much as I love Cody Clemens, Paul Goldschmidt's a different beast.
Well, could we keep Clemens and just pocket him? Kind of like a Romuto Garrett Stubbs situation?
We could. I mean, I would be okay with that. It's just Paul Goldschmidt, MVP winner last year. I mean, he's just a stud. But that's not as realistic as some other stuff as well.
Yeah.
I just saw it on
It's
Twitter.
a stretch.
Yes.
But it's one of those... We kind of being someone who's going to commentate on Philadelphia sports, we kind of have to bring out all options.
Yes, and that's one of them.
Yeah,
in my eyes.
Definitely.
And I saw something on Twitter today. He if he was put into our team right now, he'd be top 5 in everything, all hitting statistics and all that stuff.
Yeah. I think he would work really well with the guys. I think something like Matt Chapman and Paul Goldschmidt would mesh really well with the guys who we currently have.
He would freaking work. It would be perfect.
Yeah.
So another thing that we have coming up, we have a huge homestand coming up against the Braves and Mets. It's going to be a tough one, but I think we have been so hot.
The New
York
Mets suck.
I know, that's the only thing. But we just got swept by them before we started going crazy.
Yeah, and now they suck, and we're going crazy.
Yeah, they're in shambles right now. Pete Alonso's hurt. They're just.
Francisco Lindor is just an average player currently.
Yes.
I mean, Nimmo's doing pretty good from what I remember. Verlander and Scherzer are doing really bad from what I saw. Yeah. I watched a couple of videos on the whole build up of their team, the ownership, the management, going into the players, their stats, their contracts, and everything like that. Mm-hmm. And they suck.
And they pay so much money.
Yeah.
They are the definition of pay to win.
And they still suck.
They still suck.
How are you going to pay $348 million?
I don't get it.
Was there over whatever? And
it's crazy. I don't get how you would do that and so many old players.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Well, I mean, and even they said, like, Francisco Lindor was someone who was a prospect to get good. He's an above average player.
No, I agree.
But he's not superstar. He just had a good season, but never proved that he could remain like a Mookie Betts superstar level type.
And that's what they thought he was going to be.
Yeah, and they threw a fat contract at him, and he's doing not good this year.
Yeah.
Well, maybe around average.
And
but for someone like him who's highly prospected, you're expecting way more from that contract.
In Cleveland, he was hitting more upper 200s average-wise. Now he's easily low 200s. Low 200s.
Let's see what Francisco Lindor is hitting.
Check him out. I'm pretty sure it's like 223. But just the whole makeup of the Mets doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. And then the other team we're playing is the Braves, which is today, tomorrow, the next day. And we actually faced Spencer Strider in Citizens Bank Park ever since Rhys Hoskins crushed that home run in the playoffs.
He's in 216 right now.
That's what I mean.
He's 148th in the MLB.
Yep. But you see what I mean? He's just hitting lower 200s.
And all of his stats, I mean, RBI, he's tied for 50, he's at 50, he's 10th in.
That's not bad.
14 home runs, tied for 24th, 98th in OPS. So
the funny thing is, he's not really the problem. Daniel Vogelbach sucks. He's just not good. I mean, they rely so heavily on him for some reason as a DH, and when your DH hits 208, it's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah,
you know. But I do love watching Mets fans cry. That's one of my favorite pastimes, which just makes me laugh. Like Frank the Tank, watching Frank the Tank freak out might be one of my favorite things.
Yes.
Might be one of my favorite things. I don't even care where he is. He was at some like NASCAR thing the other day, and he was still freaking out about the Mets.
The Mets.
Oh, he was at the College World Series freaking out about the Mets.
Yeah.
Like, it's just so random. He is so funny.
I want to find the full team stats, but
it's fine. We can move on.
We're a Philly team, not a Mets team.
Exactly. Fuck the Mets.
Screw you.
Now, two more things. All-star team. We're creeping up there. We're creeping up into early July. Who do you think deserves it?
Realmuto, obviously.
So? Yeah.
I mean, I still think he's probably the best catcher in the
Listen, recently he has been so hot.
Yeah.
So hot.
Hit for the cycle.
In that Arizona series, he was hot. I mean, not many people could get him out.
I mean, I still think Bryce Harper, just because
Harper's top 2 right now in DHs, so it's looking good for him.
Yeah, Realmuto, Harper,
Cassidy for me.
Yes, Cassidy. How can I forget about Cassidy?
The sad thing is, I saw all the stats or the numbers came out. And Cassidy is not one of them right now.
Really?
He is. So there's all of them, and then somebody else, Cassidy. Isn't that? But at the same time, Cassidy is, I think, second in the National League in
doubles, right?
In doubles,
or is he leading doubles?
Third in average in National League after Acuna and Luis Arias.
It's all rigged. Luis Arias is a cheat code.
He's currently hitting 400 as we're sitting here too. He went 5 for 5 for the 6th time this season.
Oh my god!
He actually was on like 0 for 15. He was hitting 380 something 2 days ago, and then went 5 for 5 back 2 days, and now he's hitting 400 down. He's insane. But Castellanos, in my eyes, is perfect, the freaking perfect outfielder, and like a perfect all-star player.
I don't know if there's any other ones from the Phillies that I would take.
I want to say Stott.
Out to me. I
want to say Stott, but
yeah,
it's just,
I maybe next year.
It's a popularity contest, which is also a problem. So someone like Ozzy Albies is going to hit that over him, and Jeff McNeil, which is really sad.
Yeah.
But those few I think definitely deserve it.
Cassidy, Harper, Realmuto.
I
mean, I want to say Turner, but I don't think this year he's had an all-star season.
I agree. If Jose Alvarado stayed healthy throughout the entire first half, then I would say him.
Yeah, if Marsh was kept his pace up, then I would say Marsh too.
Yep, I agree. And I always want to say Kyle Schwarber, but it's just he's hitting.
It's only because it's June.
He's hitting under 200.
Yeah, I really want. I know this isn't Philly related, but I really want Corbin Carroll. To win Rookie of the Year and MVP.
And I'm a big Corbin Carroll. I know this again. It's in Philadelphia. Sorry, but Corbin Carroll is stuff. I love. I love watching him play.
Are Marlins and Diamondbacks both NL? Right?
Yes, NL, and they're both in the playoffs. They're both in the playoffs right now, which is crazy.
Luis Arias has. Would they just give him that if he just had a high average?
No. So
doesn't MVP means like everything. You're the most valuable player, but it's the way as like you impact your team.
And that's why Ronald Acuna is number 1 right now.
Yeah,
because
he's kind of carrying the.
I mean, their Braves are good, but they wouldn't be as good if they didn't have Ronald Acuna. I mean, he's Ronald Acuna.
But I want Corbin Carroll to win. He's already going to win Rookie of the Year.
That's a lock. If he stays healthy, that's a lock.
Yeah, but if he wins, I want him to win MVP and Rookie of the Year the same year.
Me too. Another thing we got to talk about is Aaron Nola. I just have never seen, and I've told people this, I've never seen a pitcher so uncomfortable with people on base than Aaron Nola. And I get he's
a reliever.
And I get it. And I get that he's struggling with pitch clock.
Yeah.
And I get that.
But every pitcher had to adjust.
It's not just a you thing, dude.
Adjust.
And if he wants his big payday, you can't be having a 4+ ERA.
No.
And a high 4+.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it just can't happen. And the inconsistency is really hard for me to like guess how he's going to do in the future, because he'll straight out the side look like top
Cy
Young Aaron Nola, and then all of a sudden he'll like walk somebody on like a borderline pitch, and then all of a sudden
just lose it,
and then all of a sudden they score 4 runs, and you're like, oh, it's either a tie game and he's not good with the pressure on him either.
No.
Like so Kyle Schwarber hit like a leadoff home run. And then immediately he'll let that up immediately in the first inning. Yeah. Immediately.
That's why, mindset wise, he's a reliever. We know he can go deep in the games. We know that he. But has good stuff.
Okay. But I hate this take, Jake, and I hate it. I hate it so much. This is the worst take that you've ever had. You know this.
Yeah.
Jake, this is terrible.
Well, I guess if you say first on base, but like just in terms of way he pitches when there's pressure.
I see your point, but would you put Aaron Nola in there if there's a guy on second base and
I wouldn't
put
Aaron Nola
That's what
on
you
my
do
starting team.
That's what you do with relievers.
Yeah.
I would trust someone more like Craig Kimbrell or Jose Alvarado, not Matt Strong.
I feel like he's in like the weird spot though of like he does well when the game is close, like a reliever would, but he
though this year?
No. The beginning of this year he did. Not currently.
In the last month and a half he's been asked. I can't even defend Aaron Nola anymore. No. He's been that bad.
I think we should trade him.
I think we should too. I'm sick of him.
Yeah, me
too. If he turns down like some money just because he wants to get paid more and then he sucks even worse.
No, I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't think we should entertain it. I think we should just be like.
I think we should let him walk and just let Andrew Painter take a spot.
Yeah.
And then pay Ranger Suarez.
Yeah.
I don't care. Ranger Suarez is a stud.
Or go out and pursue another pitching option.
Or do that too. I don't care. Whatever works. I am over Aaron Nola. Me as a Philadelphia fan,
he can't be a reliever or a starter.
He can't do anything.
See you later, Aaron Nola.
Yeah, I'm done.
Not a fan.
No. Anything else about the Phils? You want to comment other than it's June?
It's June, baby.
It's June.
Yeah, I think if we keep up what we're doing and we kind of just work a couple things out,
yes.
I think the trade deadline is going to be really clutch for us.
I think
it's really key. I think we got to make some good moves there.
And these next 2 series are huge for us.
Yeah, the next 2 series, huge. Trade deadline.
It might tell how we're going to do for the rest of June and the rest of July.
I think we could get the wild card spot.
I do too, easily. I totally think. I think we're better than the Giants, who are in front of us. I think we're totally better than the Giants, and I think we're better than the Reds, even though the Reds are hot. I don't care. Reds are hot, but I think we're better.
At the beginning of the year, didn't we beat the Reds?
Yeah. No, we split the series.
Split.
Yeah, or we were around the split. But it was close. But I think we're better than the Reds. I think we could crush the Reds. I don't even care if Joey Votto or Ellie came back. I don't care. I think we're better than the Reds.
Listen, is it Jonathan India? Is he one of those?
And India's good.
I like him.
But I think I take Bryce Stoddard for Jonathan India.
Yeah, you too.
So that's the only thing. Okay, Phillies. Hold on. Now let's go Birds.
Go Birds, yeah!
Go Birds. We haven't talked about the Eagles yet ever since the sad day.
Super Bowl.
I still have not watched any highlights from that because I can't without seeing that, like the new NBA, what's it called? Fox scoreboard.
Do you know what I'm about to do right now?
Oh, don't do it. Oh, Jesus Christ. He's calling up Joey who, no, don't stop. He's calling up Joey who.
He might not answer. He might be at work. Hey, we're currently in the middle of recording a podcast. Do you have any other outrageous Eagles takes to do? I'm putting you on the mic.
Let's go. All right. Let's see here.
On the spot.
I mean, I could have some I could say, but I actually don't want to get kicked off the podcast.
Joey, you said that they would blow the Chiefs out.
Well, to be fair, they scored the same amount of points that I told them they would. They just lost.
You were close.
I was half right.
You were getting there. This is a problem. Any takes up?
I was just off on the Chiefs score by like 31 points.
That's okay. Any takes though for the Eagles' upcoming stuff? Let me hear it.
I feel like I want to say one that a lot of people have been saying, but I really subscribe to it.
Yeah.
I feel like Jalen Hurts is definitely going to make a leap as a passer. That's like the only part of his game that he needs to. Well, he doesn't need to improve it, but can improve immensely in that area. And as long as he doesn't injure himself in like the knees or the lower area, he should be able to put up a solid MVP campaign.
I think he's winning MVP this year. I think this is the year.
Yeah, I literally can't see anybody else other than Patrick.
Yeah, I think it's totally between those two this year, and Hurts is going to take it because I think we're going to prove a lot of doubters wrong. So, yeah.
That's fair.
But
is it everything for you today, buddy?
Yeah.
I mean, do you want an outrageous take?
Let me hear it.
Outrageous.
One, and then we'll let you go.
Jalen Hurts throws for over 4,500 yards.
Jesus Christ.
All right, we're going to end it there, and we'll catch you in a little bit. See you, Joey.
Appreciate it, Joey.
Oh, my gosh. What did he throw for last season?
Not that. Half that.
I was going to say, right? Wasn't it like 2,500 yards last season?
Half that. I mean, always go to Joey for an outrageous take, but...
Is that worse than my Aaron Nola take?
No. It's close. It's on that same level, but you want Aaron Nola in the relief. Okay, so Eagles this year, after a little bit of insight from Joe. So Eagles do have the toughest schedule. Yeah. There is a stretch where they play Chiefs, Bills right after the bye. I'm just interested on how we're gonna do. I think there's a few games I want to highlight that will be tough. The Jets with Aaron Rodgers and that new revamped lineup. I think the Dolphins are getting Dalvin Cook. So I think the Dolphins, when we play them, that's going to be a tough one.
What do you think our record's going to be this year?
I've said this before. I'm taking 13-4.
Yeah.
And I think our losses is to Dallas once, the Chiefs. I think we're going to – I don't know which one we're going to lose. I think we're going to either lose to the Jets or the Dolphins. I don't know which one it's going to be, but it's going to be one of them. It could be the Jets because the Jets are away. We're playing them at MetLife. That's the only thing. And then one more could be any random one.
Yeah.
Because the Eagles could be the Eagles, and just like how last year Jalen Hurts could get hurt and we could throw freaking – I know we don't have him, but Gardner Minshew type back.
Gardner Minshew. Yeah. Not the Gardner Minshew.
No. Gardner Minshew, and then lose like the Saints, like we did last year.
I think – yeah. I was gonna say around 12-5.
I think 11 to 14 wins is the ideal.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
does that make sense? I feel like
I wanted to say definitely not 500.
No,
but I wanted to go somewhere over 500, but nowhere near last year.
No,
I think just because of the seriousness of our schedule.
Yeah, we only have 3 losses last year.
Yeah,
I think we're doing a little worse than last year, but that's just.
But still, playoff Super Bowl team.
And Jalen Hurts, I think Jalen Hurts is going to be MVP. And I would never. If you told me that this time last year, I would have laughed at you.
Yeah,
I think we all would have laughed.
Well, if he stays healthy.
Yeah, no, I know, but like last year after we got blown out by the Bucs, and I don't know, I just wanted to give Jalen Hurts one more year. If you told me this time last year that Jalen Hurts would have been runner-up,
we would have all freaked out.
I would have called you crazy and then kicked you off the podcast. Like that's what would have happened. Now, with all of that, we did add some firepower over the draft. We had one of the best drafts I've ever seen.
You mean the entire Georgia team?
The entire Georgia defense. I mean, Nolan Smith at pick 30, which is crazy. Nolan Smith was a 10 to 20 pick guy. and he dropped to 30.
Well, it's like what happened with
it's crazy.
What's the guy Will
Levis.
Will Levis.
I mean, yeah, it's something similar, but I really thought Nolan would be gone by then. And then of course Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter. I mean, okay, take out all of the legal stuff. He is probably a top 3 pick.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. He's probably a top 3 pick.
Yeah.
And I saw pre that people were having him go 1-2.
Yeah.
It was him, Bryce Young, or Bryce Young. That's just how it was, and the fact that he fell to us at 10, he is, and I know people have said this on talk show radios and all that. I'm going to back that up. This is one of the most ideal spots for Jalen Carter, because I think as you know, we're college kids. You don't go to college, but I go to
college age kid.
You know what I mean?
Would I just throw that out there?
Yeah, he's immature, and I get it. It happens. And the reason why I'm not going to get into all of it, but the reason why he did run from that whole incident, because that's what happened. He ran from it and didn't want to be a part of it, was to keep his legacy, protect the image, and get paid. That's why he ran. So at least he has some sort of conscience in a way, I guess. But at the same time, there's so much leadership on this team. He has Fletcher Cox and Brandon Graham to work behind, who are 2 Philadelphia Eagle greats. I just made the all-time team. Cox wasn't on there, but he is fifth or sixth on the defensive line.
Yeah.
Brandon Graham is top 4 in my eyes, being an edge rusher.
Yeah.
He is Eagles player-wise. He knows the culture.
Yeah.
You have someone like Darius Slay who knows the culture now, being on this team for 2-3 years.
Yeah.
It's a culture thing at this point, and Graham's going to help everybody. Cox can help everybody, and I don't know. I feel really optimistic. Even our 4th round pick, Sidney Brown, who is the Illinois safety.
Yeah, I mean, Jason Kelsey's literally dead.
And then Jason Kelsey on offense. I think our offense is gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
I know he did lose Isaac Samuelu, but that Cam Jurgens guy is gonna fit in real well. And this is okay. Assuming this is Kelsey last year, I think we can assume that, right?
Yeah,
because he really wants to get Jalen Hurts a ring, and I think this is our year.
Yeah.
Not a Cowboys. This is our year.
Yeah,
but,
this is our year.
I mean, we don't have Dak Prescott as our quarterback. We have the MVP.
Yeah.
So I think the fact that Cam Jurgens, who will be our center after Kelsey leaves, the fact that he's working at guard right next to Kelsey.
Yeah.
Clutch leadership experience.
Yeah.
That's
just being around him. You know what I mean? One of the best to ever do it.
And you saw Landon Dickerson.
Yeah,
who we love now. I love Landon Dickerson. He's a solid guard who could have been a Pro Bowler last year. Let's be honest here.
Yeah,
he also came in as a center from Alabama, 2nd round, essentially to back up Kelsey. But then all of a sudden, we lost someone on that line. We put him in. Kelsey coached him up. Lane Johnson coached him up, and now all of a sudden he is a top 10 guard.
Yeah,
and now he's going to be a guard for the rest of his career because Cam Jurgens is going to be there. So what if the same thing happens with Cam Jurgens, where they help him so much that he could become a guard, or something like that? Because we already have, we don't need tackles. We have Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata.
Exactly.
So I think that's going to be a really interesting thing, and them guarding for us, it's going to be crazy. And we just got DeAndre Swift as a running back. I am so high on that kid too. I think I would watch tape of him on the Lions, and they would underutilize him. Crazy.
That's not going to happen with us.
No, and we throw a decent amount of checkdowns to Boston Scott, and if Miles Sanders could catch, Miles Sanders. But now that we have a faster Miles Sanders that can catch, and he's from Georgia,
yep.
I don't know. I'm really high on freaking DeAndre Swift, and I think he's going to be so good, and he's going to add a whole nother layer to this offense.
Yeah,
and I'm just so excited to watch this team.
Leading into that, players aside, do you think we're going to have a slow start because of the change in offensive and defensive coordinators?
Yes. Here's the thing, though.
So you think most of our losses are going to come at the beginning of the season?
They could. I'm not going to say, yes, this happens.
I think who do we play first game?
The Patriots in New England. I think we're crushed. I think
we're going to win the first game. I think we're going to drop one game in the first 4 or 5 games.
Yeah, I think we're
going to go on a running streak, and then I think we're going to lose maybe 1 or 2 towards the end of the season.
I completely agree. And so here's also the thing. So Jalen Hurts and Brian Johnson, who's our new offensive coordinator, he was the quarterback coach. this is the first time that Jalen Hurts is going to be working with a coach for more than 3 years.
Yeah.
And I think that's a huge deal. That's a huge deal for the mental for that kid.
Yeah.
And Sean, I'm struggling on his last name, but it's Desai, I think. He came from the Seattle Seahawks. The guy has a lot of funky lineups and how he positions like the defensive line.
Yeah.
Like I've seen a formation where it's like, so I'm going to use Eagles players, right?
Yeah.
Fletcher Cox in the middle.
Yeah.
Brandon Graham on one side, Hassan Reddick on the other, and then two other linebackers with them. And then there's just like Fletcher Cox in the middle. And they have no idea what to do, but then it would work.
Yeah.
Like the Seahawks with Geno Smith, I mean, obviously offense, but I was impressed by the Seahawks last year. They should not have been as good as they were.
Yeah,
and they had Tariq Woolen, who I think
absolutely
who should have been who was a Pro Bowler, who should have been more nationally recognized. I think that has a lot to do with Sean Desai, because I think he's going to change this defense to be great. And I know we've all talked about this, but Jonathan Gannon is a dickhead, and I really don't like him. And I'm glad that we left him in freaking Arizona, because he essentially lost us that game. Yeah. Anyone that says Jalen Hurts fumbling that ball lost us that game, I think is wrong. It's not his fault. He still threw for 300 yards. And touchdowns. I don't know. Yep. But I do think they could have a slow start. But yeah, and then now here's the biggest thing I think we need to talk about, and we'll get Caleb in here in the future. Who is the greatest threat to the Eagles Super Bowl hope in the NFC? Because obviously it's Mahomes and Josh Allen in the AFC, Joe Burrow and all that, but it's NFC. Mine is probably the 49ers, but at the same time, they don't have a quarterback right now.
Yeah,
they're mixing between three.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Yeah, but one guy,
I know.
Doesn't really. I mean,
Kyle Shanahan is a great coordinator and a great coach, and he's
I don't think there's going to be specifically one.
Yeah.
No.
And I could see the Lions being rough too, because they had C.J. Gardner-Johnson, who we love, but I mean I don't love him anymore. He pissed me off a little bit, but I feel like they could be good as well, and Dallas could be good too. CeeDee Lamb could.
I don't really see Dallas as a threat,
but I don't see them as much as a threat as the other two.
Yeah, I would probably say more 49ers than Lions, but I think both could still pose a little bit of a challenge. I really don't see any threats per se.
Okay,
but I do see hefty challenges.
I agree. Yeah. So I'm just saying 49ers because that defense is awesome.
But yeah, I think
that defense is awesome.
Yeah. I would say 49ers would probably be, if we're just picking one, it's going to be 49ers.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
And even like, it's funny, the Lions are very weird to me.
They're like a funky team.
You know what I mean? Like, they could either kill it this year with Dan Campbell and just like ride behind Jared Goff, who played well enough last year, and he put up some great numbers. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
Listen, we both know Ty, my roommate.
Yeah.
Hates Jared Goff because he's a Rams fan.
Yeah.
But he put up better numbers than Jared Goff's Super Bowl year last year.
Yep.
But it's just, can he play well enough? And if he does suck, and I know their expectations are high right now in Detroit.
True.
Could they put in Hendon Hooker from Tennessee? And he's a stud as a quarterback. Stud. If he didn't get hurt with Tennessee, I think Tennessee could have been a top 4 team. He was awesome.
Yeah.
But the Lions are very interesting to me, and Jameson Williams with the whole gambling thing and how he was suspended 7 games is also a thing.
Yeah.
Because he's also really good. But we'll see with the Lions. I don't know. But definitely 49ers from both of us.
I'm going to go 49ers.
Yeah, that defense and Kyle Shanahan. Now, one last thing that we have here.
Scroll down.
Yeah, because we have this little graphic here. Everyone on 94.1 WIP, we're talking about this on their top 10 Tuesday, and I saw it. It was trending on Twitter, and I feel like we have to talk about it. Who is the best athlete right now? Right now, not all time. Right now.
Oh, we're going right now? I thought this was all time.
Right now. If we're talking right now, who's the best athlete in Philadelphia? Jalen Hurts, Bryce Harper, Joel Embiid. And I'm not going to name these players.
I'm going to go not Embiid.
No.
Embiid was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
It is June.
It is June.
But I'm going to argue on the side of Bryce Harper.
Are you?
Yeah. And I know you're going to argue on the side of Hurts.
I am. So give me your case. Because, funny, these two players are like my favorite players. So I get both sides.
Bryce Harper, one of the fastest recovery times in whatever kind of surgery he got. I completely forget what it was, but the guy literally played through it last year, came in clutch, hit home run clutch after home run clutch, just phenomenal run last year. Helped us out immensely. This year came back, insanely quick recovery. I think the fastest recovery in the history of whatever surgery he got.
Yes.
What was it?
It was Tommy John, but it was Tommy John. Yeah.
Oh, was Tommy John? Well, I knew it was something on his elbow. I didn't know if it was Tommy John. Yeah. Okay, well, Tommy John, whatever. One of the quickest recovery times. Came back. First game didn't do too well. Second game caught fire. And then, ran up the stats. Kind of dropped off a little bit, but now, again, is doing really well. He's just kind of lacking that power. But I think overall, if you look at... It's kind of hard, though, because Hurts hasn't had as long of a career as Harper. So if we're comparing career stats and, accolades, MVP, and whatnot, I think Harper would by a long shot. But I think this year for Hurts is going to be a key year into defining what kind of player he is as well. So
I agree. I totally see that side of Bryce Harper.
But I like Bryce Harper more.
He's coming off the NLCS MVP as well. I mean, this current year has been the year of Bryce Harper.
Yeah. He's been an all-star 7 times now.
He didn't carry us to the World Series, but he was definitely a huge part.
I would say...
He was one of the biggest parts, if not the biggest part.
Yeah, I would say he probably played the largest role individually on that whole team with the clutch home runs. I agree. He had that double, he had that single, he had just a bunch of hits. And I love that guy. Yeah, and just personality-wise, when you think Philly baseball, you think Bryce Harper.
Yeah, and I loved... Did you see his quote the other day? So Las Vegas A's, it's going to happen. He was asked, and that's where he's from, Las Vegas. He was asked, would you go back to Las Vegas if and when they get that team? And he said, if I'm back in a Las Vegas uniform, that means I died in a Philadelphia Phillies uniform, which is one of my favorite quotes by any athlete. That is one of my favorite quotes by any athlete.
That's hilarious.
Which is huge. So that just solidifies how great of a fit he is for this.
Yeah,
he's very much
he just
Philadelphia.
Loves Philly.
He's very much Philadelphia, and he's very much us, which makes me really happy.
Yeah.
But
I think Hurts has a strong case, though. I think Harper is better. I think Harper is more Philly. I think Harper is a better athlete. I think Harper is probably one of the best athletes this city has ever seen. And, respectively in his sport, he's a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean? Easily.
He is no doubt a Hall of Famer. 2-time MVP, now World Series appearance, and NLCS. I mean, 7-time All-Star. I mean, with all the batting champions he has, plus a Derby. I don't know. He's fantastic.
But I think Hurts is Hurts is in the process of building his legacy, and I think this year is going to be a really big year defining on what type of player he's going to be moving forward.
Yes, and that's why I say Jalen Hurts.
Just for the fact that he's younger.
If we're talking, I feel like if we're talking current, Jalen Hurts is that guy. He's put on a little bit of muscle, and he has already improved as a passer. In OTAs, when they're doing scrimmages, he did not look great. I would give him a 6 or 7 out of 10.
Yeah.
Because he threw 2 picks, but with the 1 touchdown, it was a pinpoint over the shoulder catch.
That was crazy.
To Devontae Smith. Yep. That
was phenomenal.
If this guy just keeps it up, he could. Listen, the Eagles don't have a ton of great quarterbacks. Donovan McNabb, good. We don't love him because I think he's just kind of a scumbag. He got wasted the day before the Super Bowl and then played hungover.
Attaboy.
Randall Cunningham, love Randall Cunningham, but he never won a Super Bowl or even made it to one. You know what I mean?
What about the dog beater?
Or Mike Vick, who didn't play here long enough, except he was good. He was good though. And then there's Nick Foles. We love Nick Foles, but Nick Foles is a great quarterback in that time. It's just nowadays he's not good at it. He wasn't great leading up. And then we have all the ones in between that we don't.
Carson Wentz, bro.
You're funny. But Jalen Hurts could be. I think it already is the next great quarterback in Philadelphia Eagles history.
Yeah. And
the next most beloved sort of figure.
Yeah, from Philadelphia. I mean?
So I think him and AJ Brown together, if they just stay together for 5+ years, I don't see us not making the playoffs almost every year.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And as we saw with the Phillies, you make the playoffs, anything happens.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you come in. I don't even know what the Phillies were above 500, but it wasn't much.
No,
it doesn't matter. You could beat the Cardinals in 2 games, beat the Braves in 5, beat the Padres in 5. It doesn't matter. Like, it does not matter. You just got to make the playoffs. And I think Jalen Hurts will make the playoffs almost every single year.
Yeah.
And the fact that he had 35 total touchdowns last year, I think is impressive. Just crazy in general. And the NFL MVP runner-up after no one thought he would be anything.
Nope.
I thought he'd be good. Like, I thought we'd make the playoffs, but I didn't think he'd be
Didn't expect this much out of him.
I mean, I thought he would just be good because of the players around him. But if you look at highlights, he's just pinpoint pass after pinpoint pass. And as Joey was saying, and I do agree with him, I think he's going to even be better throwing the ball this year.
Yeah.
He already uses his legs perfectly. I mean, he's not like Lamar Jackson lowering the shoulder. I mean, He'll slide once in a while, but he's heavier than Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
So if he needs a first down at like the end of the game, he will either jump over you or he'll lower that shoulder
and just run through you
and ram the fuck out of you. Like it's perfect. And I'm such a big fan of both these guys. So I think we're right now lucky to have both of them because you talked to us in 2015.
We were screwed.
We had actually nobody. We had Freddie Galvis on the Phillies. We still had Jason Kelsey.
Oh, I remember Freddie Galvis.
You remember like Freddie Galvis, Jeff Francoeur, like all those the iconic.
Gosh. Who was center fielder?
Ben Revere. I mean, we just had all these like processed Phillies, and then Sixers were in the process. We had people like Sergio Rodriguez, who you probably don't even know who Sergio Rodriguez is. He or like Evan Turner, or like any of our bust first round picks. And then the Eagles just weren't good. I just got used to not watching them in the playoffs. And we had Kevin Cobb as our freaking quarterback before then, and then in that case, that was the year before we drafted Carson Wentz. Yeah, when we were just god awful.
What is Freddie Galvis up to these days?
He's playing in Japan or Korea right now. Look it up. Jake's looking it up. We're all, I think, as Philadelphia fans, we can say this. We all love Freddie Galvis because of where he came. He's similar to TJ McConnell in like the fact that they were South Korea. Yeah, and he's not doing bad either. He came back a few years ago and he was pretty good. He's only 33 shit.
The Pacific League.
But
Japan, sorry.
Okay. Yeah, works. But he's like a processed Philly who's there through it all. I just feel like we're so spoiled right now in Philadelphia. I mean, yes, we probably just had the worst year in Philadelphia sports history, losing 3 championships.
But if you would have said that we would have gotten to all these positions years and years ago,
I would have laughed. Even last year. If you told me the Eagles and Phillies would make it to the World Series and Super Bowl, I think we would straight laugh at each other.
Oh, Ben Reviere's on the Angels?
Is he? He might be in the minors.
Oh, 27. Yeah, I don't think he's...
I don't think he's playing.
I don't think he's in the majors anymore.
I mean, the Flyers aren't great right now. They just trade Ivan Provorov for pretty much nothing. But and we'll probably trade Carter Hart for something, which is kind of sad. So they're just embracing the rebuild. But yeah, I just think we're really spoiled to be Philadelphia fans right now, which makes me really happy. Yeah. Jay's currently looking up everything about Ben Revere.
I guess he's on the Rangers.
Yeah. Farm system?
I don't know.
No.
No, his last season was 2017.
Gotcha.
In the pros, at least.
Yeah, gotcha. Do you have anything else for today?
Go Birds, go Phillies.
Go Birds, go Phils. And yeah, you want to do the outro? Let's
Thank you guys so much for taking some time out of your day to listen / watch this episode of the Broad Street Boys. Caleb, like I said, is in Italy, so it's a shame he couldn't.
We did a good job holding it down, I think.
Yeah, but someone else has to balance out my stupidity and my hot takes.
I try my best. I mean, you did say Aaron Nola should be a reliever, but
watch out. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, listening, however you consume today's video. Make sure to follow us and stay tuned for more, obviously, as the basketball season draft.
Yes, Jaden and I. So I'm bringing Jaden on possibly Thursday for a little NBA talk because Tobias Harris could be on the move and we could be getting someone else. So
yeah, Eagles ramping up, Phillies got to catch fire, continue to be on fire.
Proud of them.
But that's pretty much all we got for today. So thank you guys so much for listening. As I said 3 times, and we'll see you in the next one.
Hey, go Phils. Let's go.
Peace.